Chase Mansfield. We were talking about Boa Silva, J2 Mattioli, time limit draw, historic moment for Rising Star Wrestling here at Menace. But let's talk about the guy who put Boa Silva away. Let's talk about the guy with the most stock in Southern California, in Las Vegas, wherever he goes. He is looking to break bones. Bret the Threat.
Not only did he take out Boa Silva, not only did he shock eliminate J2 within the first couple minutes of that fatal four-way contest, he eliminated also Cam August. And he was seconds away from tapping out CJ Tino, but it was Mr. 551 who was able to get the victory. This man is as much as a monster in Rising Star as they come. But he ain't going against just another competitor. No, he's going against a man who's having one of the most historic title reigns in San Diego.
Don't let the reception fool you. He is, in fact, a historic competitor in his own right. The longest reigning Primal Pro Wrestling champion. But let's talk about a styles clash, to say the very least. Bret the Threat, he walks the walk, he talks the talk, and he is looking to walk all over a guy like Jeremiah Fresh. Jeremiah Fresh, one of the most talented guys, A1 since day one. I would know, I trained with him. But this is the kind of guy who very clearly has a certain effect over our audience, a certain je ne sais quoi, what might say.
We'd say a good one.
That might come into play, perhaps not in his favor, especially if he's looking to chirp at these fans and not a killer like Bret the Threat.
Calls himself the freshest man in the game, and tonight, as you said, it's a clash of styles. When you're going against someone who has submission gangster in big bold letters on his shirt for Jeremiah Fresh, this is one tall glass of water, one tall task he's gonna have to go through to show why he is a mainstay here in San Diego.
Look at Bret the Threat's friggin' eyes. Look at him following Jeremiah Fresh like a friggin' shark. Crazy.
Ladies and gentlemen, your next contest is a singles match scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, to my right, the Submission Gangster.
Soaking in the adulation from the crowd, but there is none of that here.
Is that what it
All boos for Jeremiah Fresh. No love lost here in San Diego. Oh.
Listen, Bret the Threat is in here for the kill. He's not going to let anybody, whether they cheer him or boo him, get in his head. This is a kind of hold-for-hold submission gangster. He has earned that title.
Jeremiah Fresh looking like he might have bit off a little more than he can chew here at the opening contest, and for Bret, it is all business.
Bret the Threat was so close, the runner-up for the All-Star title here at Rising Star. And I'm sure he's not exactly in a great mood most of the time.
No.
But he is not exactly in a forgiving mood. He's not exactly in the mood to tolerate a lot of the nonsense that Jeremiah Fresh gets up to in and out of the ring.
Tried to ask Bret the Threat about this match with Jeremiah Fresh earlier tonight and said, push me into a wall. So again, not a very nice guy, and especially in the ring. This man is as nasty as it gets, is as mean as it gets, but it's for a reason, because he is here for wins. And we saw that on display last Rising Star, and we're seeing no love lost when it comes to keeping on the offense with Jeremiah Fresh.
And look at that hyperextension of the shoulder already. We're barely even ticking off the minutes in double digits, and Bret the Threat is well in control. And he's well in control of the Rising Star faithful here.
coming down from the Bay Area, almost ruling this place like it's his own. Couldn't tell you that he wasn't from San Diego based on the love of the crowd, but now almost putting his hands behind him, almost goading Jeremiah Fresh into either submission or just getting close to him.
You know, I thought that the cockiness game was going to be Jeremiah Fresh's victory to snatch. But at the same time, Bret right now conducting the Rising Star faithful here at Menace. Look at this beautiful bridge right to a pinfall. And he has maintained control this entire time. Listen, Fresh is one of the most talented wrestlers coming out of San Diego. He is Primal Champion for a reason. He is confident. He is versatile. He is incredibly talented. But I think he is realizing he's in the deep end with a shock.
Oh, yeah. Two champions on their own right, as we know. West Coast Pro champion when it comes to Bret the Threat. When it comes to Jeremiah Fresh, that historic Primal Pro championship reign. And now Jeremiah using the distraction from the referee to get a cheap shot. Might have been his opening, his window here in the match to finally get it underway, but no, Bret the Threat, my God! Almost get him in a crucifix position.
And maintaining control of the arm, Bret the Threat makes it look easy. He's one of the most dangerous men in professional wrestling today on the independent circuit for a reason. We talk about Primal Champion, this guy's a multiple-time champion, and he's making it look easy here, just picking apart Jeremiah Fresh, exerting all his strength, all his skill, and all that meanness.
Using that knee to the back to hyperextend those ligaments to take out the arms of the big redwood we call Jeremiah Fresh. But now, almost looking to get out of the way, but no!
Beautiful cross-armed armbar there, arm drag rather, and right back to the armbar.
Very innovative from Bret the Threat.
And we saw that hyperextension of the shoulder. That could be coming into play sooner rather than later. Bret the Threat, I mean, look, he's looking to have a conversation, a little Q&A with our audience while he's picking apart Jeremiah Fresh. Unreal. Unreal.
Another day at the ballpark for Bret the Threat and for Jeremiah Fresh. Looking like some ultimate homework if he can get the win over Bret, someone who's made it almost to the All-Star Rising Star Championship. You got to think this is going to be very good standings for Jeremiah Fresh.
Oh God, look at the torque on his friggin' wrist. We talked about the last match being for the sickos. This is the kind of sicko I'm talking about. Now biting the fingers. We're gonna break.
Would you not eat lunch, Bret? My goodness.
Hey, it's a long drive from the Bay to San Diego, my man. He's gonna get every calorie he can get.
And now looking to almost get a Kimura armbar in there, but no, Jeremiah grabbing the back of his hair and using any underhanded tactic he can to get a window into this match.
You know, there's an old saying, oh! I believe Jeremiah Fresh is encountering it right now. He realizing he ain't built for this.
Yes. Like a bleeding man in the water, but unfortunately he's in there with a shark, and that is Bret the Threat. He's going to take any modicum of breath he can to get back into this match. And again, misdirection from Bret. Oh, chopping him down.
Choked him with the Euro step right into a senton. You gotta be kidding me. He's stunting on him. He's stunting on him, Chase.
Juked him out. I've never seen that in a wrestling ring before. Bret the Threat is showing why he is the submission gangster. Why he is a champ in places like San Francisco.
You're absolutely right. And Jeremiah Fresh, the only thing in his arsenal left is right now is using the ring to his advantage, using the momentum to his advantage, and that reach as well. Oh, hell.
Uh-oh. In his arm yet again, and now
signature cording hold there. Once again, return to the hair. Oh no, don't want to get this guy taking your waist. Throwing him right on the ropes. Big! Emphasis on big.
Might want to look at his face. There might be a size 12 boot imprint from the freshest man in the game. But only a 1 count from the submission gangster.
Bret the Threat clutching that cheekbone there. Could have fractured an orbital rather with a boot like that. And again, you forget how quickly things turn in the favor of Jeremiah Fresh. This is how he's retained that Primal Pro Wrestling Championship so many times. He uses that strength, that reach, and that athleticism.
Jeremiah Fresh at the beginning of this match fighting on his back foot, but now firmly in place. Taking those shoulders to the midsection of Bret the Threat, looking to take down the redwood. The submission gangster ground him at his own game with a suplex of his own.
Suplex of the snap variety. I think we're beginning to see a hole in the armor of Bret the Threat, and that's that lower back, the fulcrum of his offense. He's got those submissions, he's got the ground and pound, he's got the strength, but it all goes for naught if you can't friggin' move.
Jeremiah now settling into a groove, keeping Bret the Threat on the back foot. And now just talking trash, but not a man I would ever speak those words to, Fresh, because now he's getting the brunt of those chops.
Look at Jeremiah's face. That says more than I ever could in the commentation station. And then a high knees. And he's not done yet, fans.
And keeping up with the offense, but no, able to get a back elbow, a spinning back elbow is Jeremiah Fresh.
And Jeremiah Fresh not going for a pinfall, not going for a hole. He's fighting for dear life out there.
Oh, yeah.
This is not the kind of opportunity that Jeremiah Fresh would shy away from, but I think he's realizing how much danger he's really in.
That left arm is hurt, and you can see, I mean, thankfully not in the vision of Bret the Threat, because that would have put a huge target on his arm. But taking that breath, almost looking to go back to his playbook, figure out what do I got to do to take down the threat that is Bret, and now just chopping him down again. Those nasty leg kicks.
Big clothesline! Spins him around, nails him down, going for that cover. No, looking for that wear him down here. He was looking for a sleeper earlier, Chase. I'm wondering if that's going to come into play here.
And again, as we see Bret the Threat, when he hits a move, he capitalizes instantly. When it comes to Jeremiah Fresh, you got to ask if it maybe not playing in his wheelhouse to not go for the cover right away, to not go for that transition. I mean, I say that, but he's in firm contention right now with this headlock. He's got that deeply cinched in.
But the momentum and the leverage is not on his side. Big knee lift separates him from Bret the Threat, but I think both these men are worse for wear. Oh my God, that could have knocked him out.
Might have been a nasty liver shot, but still, no matter the pain, Bret is still able to fight out of it. And now, looking for a chop. Right hand chop. Right hand chop. God.
It's those forearm shivers. He's like Boss Rutan in there. He is absolutely taking his opponent apart. Someone stop that damn match. I think he's dead on his feet.
But you got to give it to Jeremiah Fresh, not falling, staying on those 2 feet. I mean, might be outnumbered.
Yeah, great Chase, not falling. He's on his feet, and he's eating another punch. Just fall down. Maybe they'll stop.
There you go. Now eating the full brunt of what Bret the Threat has to offer. Now an arm trap back suplex.
And right on that injured shoulder once again, Bret the Threat back in control. And it's all over with a crying for Jeremiah Fresh.
A primal scream in the primal compound from Bret the Threat. 2050 Wilson Avenue. Here's the home for rising star, the Menace. We're seeing a Menace on full display right here from Bret the Threat.
We're going to take the waist now in that half Nelson situation. Look at this, back to the hammer. Leveraging here. Trying to get the knee over, but can he?
Trying to get that octopus stretch in. But no, wasn't able to get it, and Jeremiah Fresh taking him to the corner.
With desperation painting that move. He just fell. Listen, if you're in a hold like that, an abdominal stretch, an octopus stretch, anything like that, as 5 minutes tick down, you're more liable to take yourself out. Oh my God, that's gotta be it! Walk-off home run! See ya! No!
Wow, what a head kick, and now just transitioning back into that Kimura-like armbar. You know, Jeremiah Fresh trying to fight out from under him, kicking Bret the Threat. Bret just eating those for breakfast.
Just kicking him right in the side of the head here, eventually frees himself. But the fact that Jeremiah Fresh is still in this fight, this is so friggin' scary to watch. I love it.
Nasty lariat placed right on the mullet. And now just eating right hands and a left hand. Both these men fighting, but
look at the eyes! Look at the eyes of Bret the Threat! Screw a Hulk up! He's gonna kill this man!
Almost the most scary look I've seen in a wrestling ring from Bret the Threat, but now almost a desperation big boot takes both men out.
Yakuza kick, put his entire body into it. It's not enough. It's not enough. Close range to the back of the head. Yakuza kick against that turnbuckle, and it's still not enough, Chase.
And again, only minutes remain in this match. We saw a time limit draw in our last contest. Could we be seeing one tonight between Bret the Threat and Jeremiah Fresh here in singles action at Rising Star?
Jeremiah Fresh barely back to his feet. Bret the Threat fighting once again. Eats a knee.
Big knee and a second leaping knee.
DDT.
Nasty whipping DDT, and now,
Oh my God!
kick might have just knocked him out. You see those stars circling around Jeremiah Fresh's head? And now, the move he took Boa Silva out with, the move he took J2 Mattioli out with. Can Jeremiah Fresh get out of it? Able to roll into the ropes.
But maintains control. Misses the roundhouse. Look at this. Oh my God! Half hatch right on top of his free head. It's there! What a move this could be in!
Desperation offense only gets a 2 count. My goodness. Jeremiah Fresh throwing everything he possibly can into a melting pot and putting it on display for Bret the Threat. But it shows just how much chin Bret has to kick out of that at 2.
Chase, we're not even halfway through our show. We're not even halfway through our friggin' show. This is Rising Star. This is the kind of action you can expect. And this is brutality that you can expect from Bret the Threat and Jeremiah Fresh.
2 gladiators fighting for their ticket here at Rising Star. Bret wants to show he's a monster. Jeremiah wants to show he's here to stay. And with 2 minutes remaining, Jeremiah takes him to the ropes. Looking for a sky high, but
Eats a 12-6 elbow instead. What a clothesline!
nasty clothesline, using all his momentum and body weight to his advantage. But able to get out of it is Bret the Threat. But that's the first ever lax kickout we have seen from Bret here in this contest.
We're getting close to another time limit draw. And listen, it might not be the first one, but it could be very well the hardest hitting. The fact that both these men are looking to stand up speaks to the tenacity, the grit of these two competitors.
Even having trouble standing on their own 2 feet, breathing from their mouths, these men have given it their all. But what more do they have to bring in these last 2 minutes to get the win here at Rising Star Menace?
Back into a fireman's carry, desperate situation right now. 1 minute left, waist lock applied, goes to that O'Connor, nothing going.
Picks the leg, now getting him into an armbar. Looking for a flash cover there from Jeremiah Fresh.
And he's not done yet.
Crucifix cover, nobody there, but now Bret the Threat.
Jackknife, no!
Almost had it there with his full body weight. Jeremiah able to transition back into a back roll. Only a 2 count there again.
Kicks out the arm. We're getting down to the wire here. What's it gonna be? Mouse trap. Does he have him? Leverages the shoulders, and that's it.
What? What a nasty cover from Bret. Just full forearm on the face of Jeremiah, telling him to stay down.
Hellacious. Absolutely outmaneuvered, outplayed, and certainly beaten in every aspect. But what a showing from Jeremiah Fresh. What a war.
Any lesser man, it would have been over minutes ago. But for Jeremiah Fresh, taking the last 30 seconds just shows you why they call him the only Heartless King, the freshest man in the game.